And this is the party wall between 1110 and 1100. And you can see someone's worked here. You can see that this has got vinyl on this wall, vinyl siding. It's not the stuff we use, but it was put in here. And while they did that, they did the flashing system at the bottom as well. And if you know, that means cutting the tiles back so they can flush themselves out. And let me get down here, it's hot. They cut the tiles back, open this up here so water can get in here and flush the debris out, keep things from damming up and creating leaks. And this is typically what we do in here. We cut these back and we make sure that these are all correctly flashed. A lot of times these pipes are not quite right. And then of course the wall is also a question mark. We have to do the wall over. Well, I really don't trust what's been done here, and we didn't do this. Again, this is something that was here. And the reason I don't trust it is because the tiles are hot. The reason I don't trust it is the return seam on this pan flash. In other words, this is a pan flash and it comes out like this. And then there's a seam that stands up right in here. It's only it's under 2 inches from the edge of this tile. There's a seam that stands up that controls the water that gets under here from washing over this flashing. And what we do when we put them in, we do individual steps at each course. We have a flashing on this tile and we have another flashing on this tile. They overlap, and they also have the returns on them. How far in are our returns, Dave, those standing seams on these things?
I think it's like 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Might be 12.
We're back in here with that standing seam to corral that water in here, whereas this one's right in here. So you really don't have much forgiveness in here. And you know, if he's got this goofy leak going on and off and we can't be sure of when it's active and when it isn't, this is just the kind of thing that would activate when you know, when you least expect it or in certain conditions. And then look down here at the bottom of this run, this flashing. You know, you've got maybe, you know, you got an irregular gap here, right here where I was just explaining to you. You've got about a 4-inch gap between the edge of the tile and the copper flashing, and then the return seam that stands up on that flashing is right here. Well, as you go down the roof, it gets smaller and smaller until it's choked down at the bottom again. The bottom is completely choked. There's no opening down there, and you're getting leaves in there already. So this was, I mean, this really wasn't done the way I think it should have been done. It should have been opened up consistently all the way down, and with individual steps that are much wider to control any kind of wash in here. It's going to have a little more volume control, a little better volume control with a bigger flashing system in here. You know, I don't know what's going on with this, but if we blow this up and do this right, you're going to want to get into here and do this right as well. I don't want to just do the flashings in the roof and then trust this to be okay.
You don't know about that either.
Huh?
But a J channel.
Yeah, the J's not overlapped.
Right, and this piece here doesn't. It could return up behind there, but if it doesn't.
What he's saying is, see that J channel separated right there? When water comes down, let me just show you what I mean. When water comes down that J, in other words, everything that hits this wall runs down and lands inside this J channel. The J channel is shaped like a U. It goes down, across, and up. It goes up behind this siding. So this is collecting water. Water's running down here, and then down where that seam is, it's not overlapped, it's getting behind that seam. So we have to wonder where the water that's coming down this piece of J is going. It's going behind the siding or what? So these are the kind of things that you can't say for sure are causing a problem, but you can say for sure that they could be causing a problem. And the way that this leak is acting, you know, It's the kind of thing you just gotta either do a really involved water test, and maybe have to spend a day here doing a test with water to try and activate the thing and roll things in and out, or you just do this all over again. Then this J is right on the roof. You know, that J is right down on top of the copper. You know, when you look back up here,
That's terminated too.
how that's terminated up here, you know, this is just not good. I mean, water's coming, what water does get through this throttled down area where all these leaves are, is going to slam right into this, and this is just kept tight with caulk. You know, this needs to be designed more thoroughly for more, you know, a design water shedding way that you just know that when water gets in here, it's going to be channeled out without any challenges along the way. And that's what you got right now. You got a lot of crazy, unnecessary challenges that are just complicating water removal. So, this is the wall between 1100 and 1110. And this was sided, but incorrectly. And what we're doing now is doing the whole thing over again, basically. The key to this job is to make sure down here where the flashing meets the wall is wide open so it can flush itself out. Well, before, the cutouts were all wrong. They were in and out and not exactly wide enough to flush themselves out. Well, now you can see it certainly is wide enough. You're not going to have a problem with debris getting stuck in there. And it's high enough so that you know, it's protected from anything that gets through the siding. Now the siding's also got Tyvek and some sealing, some ice and water where the steps meet the sub wall, sheathing. So we're going to tuck bat matrix in up under the fascia too, up in here, and up under the corners of those tiles while we're up here.